I'm doing this with a mic. If you could hear what it would be like without one, you'd thank me. Um, but this is a Q&A video, as the title suggests. So I asked for just general questions. Thanks to everybody who asked something. I'm gonna kind of go through the main ones here, and if you want another video like this in the future, then I can certainly put out another call for questions, and we can do this again. So, first question from Elliot, who says, how's work on Phantoms going? So Phantoms is my upcoming album, which is coming out on June 10th. And as he also comments, actually, it's been quite an extended writing process. So I probably started the whole demo process about 9 months ago now. And I think there's been a couple reasons why it's kind of gone on so long. And the first reason is that, well, it's the actual nature of kind of how I'm approaching it, which is I often find myself constantly kind of starting new demos and really not going back and finishing them. So I'm going through this constant process of thinking up some idea or hearing something cool and thinking, that gives me an idea, start another demo. And I end up with this huge folder of demos that is certainly not getting any smaller, but I think I really need to focus in on some specific ones and work them through to completion. And hopefully in that way, you know, I'll definitely hit the target, but just kind of finish it with some good time left. And the other reason I think it's taking so long is because I'm simply trying to do a lot more with my time than I really probably can or should. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I'll address that in the next question, but it's just finding the time to actually sit down and write has been quite challenging all that time. But it's good, and I hope you enjoy it when it comes out. Steve and Sarah actually asked, what do I do? As in, like, generally, you know, not just music, but what do I do? So I've had work in a couple of various forms over the last few years, and at the moment I am a student. I'm studying sound design, and so this kind of links back with what I was talking about the album, why it's taking so long, but there's a lot of stuff that I'm trying to do just generally. So, you know, in addition to the work that I'm putting towards Razor Red Noise and Inviridian and thinking about doing covers, I'm also trying to, you know, come up with like a sound design portfolio pieces, come up with some music compositional portfolio pieces, and I'm focusing on trying to get packs of music up in game engine asset stores and sell those, and I've been thinking about starting to try and look at library music and stock music, and so it's all these different facets of things that each kind of take their own little focus. And again, it's finding the time for all of them. It's just really, really tough. And on top of those things, I'm interested in game development. So at the tail end of last year, I put out an iOS game. I've got a couple of others that are finished that are just kind of waiting to go out. And there's a larger project I want to work on after I get one or two of those out. I'm doing language study, and so it's just all these things that you really need such a rigid schedule to actually get through them all, and that's tough. So, you know, I try and do each little piece when I can and try and devote time for everything, but it is tough. Yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment. Frank and Daniel ask, would I consider doing an instrumental album of my songs? And I certainly would, if that's something that people are interested in. I'm happy to pursue it. I think one of the challenges of doing that is actually putting it out in such a way that it doesn't clutter up like my already kind of large collection of albums that I've put out. And that is a result of having done so many albums that it's hard to just kind of dump the instrumental versions of everything just up there without kind of muddying the waters a bit. So maybe it's something I could do if there's specific ones people would like to hear. or focus on the singles or something like that. I could put together like a compilation album of instrumentals and put that out. If that's something you're interested in, then let me know. That's maybe one way it could work. Daniel asks, will we get more behind the scenes videos or more videos like those for The Ghost City, explaining the creative process? And last summer, when I was doing a lot of the initial writing for this album, I was actually recording quite a bit of video. It was mostly just me kind of talking through how it was going and the way I was approaching it and the way I was thinking about it. That's kind of tapered off over the last few months. I haven't really videoed anything, so if I were to put out something like that, it might be kind of gap-filled. Maybe I could do something which is kind of retrospective at the end of the process, looking back on kind of the individual stages of how the album came together. Maybe something like that. But again, at this stage, I don't know. I'm just trying to focus on getting the album finished and getting ready for release, and then I can see about some stuff like that as well. Sarah asks, what about the live shows that I talked about some time ago? Still something I want to do. A while ago, I bought a bunch of equipment to focus on putting together like a solo live show with Razor Red Noise music, which is still a direction I definitely want to go in, and playing live is something that I've done a couple times, but not really with Razor Red Noise at all, and something that I want to get into. Again, the problem with that right now is just finding the time for it. I'm not actually going to be here probably for much of the coming months, so my initial plan to get that stuff ready for summer is probably not going to happen. It was something I was thinking about to do a series of videos for songs from the new album, would be to get everything kind of rehearsal ready and pick some songs off the upcoming album and do performance style videos for those in a rehearsal kind of setting. Again, I don't know if that's actually going to happen, going to work out. I've got other video ideas as well, but it's just one of those things that's kind of going around in my head. But that stuff, I've made the investment, so I should do something with it. And I do want to do something with it. It's just finding the appropriate time. Liam asks, which songs have you enjoyed producing the most? And what sticks in my mind recently, obviously because I've just done it, is the song Image. And that was fun to produce, and actually kind of a challenge to produce because it had so many fewer elements than songs I'm used to writing. Image pretty much is just a piano, a vocal line, and some strings at the end. As a challenge, it was fun. It can get a bit tiresome after a while, just trying to balance the vocal in relation to the instrumental, and that's actually not just limited to Image, but it's quite tough generally. And you get kind of tired of hearing the same song over and over again as you're trying to fix this. But in terms of like a mixing challenge, that was pretty fun. Generally speaking, I think I enjoy producing songs like Even as the Sun and Enough of This Hell, and basically anything that has a really full and dense sound, that just has that kind of sprinkle of electronics over it. I think that just lifts it, and like when I write those bits and drop them in, it's like everything just suddenly clicks and suddenly starts working really well. So I really enjoy like when that happens. So it's kind of those kind of songs that I probably enjoy producing the most for that reason. Beth asks, if I could live anywhere in the world, where would I most want to live? And I don't know really, because I don't really know anywhere else as intimately as where I am at the moment. I've certainly visited other places that I've enjoyed visiting, places in America, for example, but I don't know if I would enjoy living there necessarily, and it's just something I have no bearing on really, because I've not spent any huge amount of time away from home here. So I don't know really, but I'm always eager to travel places and experience different cultures and different ways of doing things in a kind of visiting capacity. But I don't know. I'm happy to stay in the UK for the time being, but maybe I'll have a change of heart or find somewhere that I think I'd I'd rather live in the future. I just don't know at this point. Randy asks if I'm down for some collaborations on original content. And it's something that I so wish I could do if I had, again, the time to devote to it. But and I get this question a lot. I get loads of messages that ask about doing collaborations on original songs. And I wish I could reply and say, yeah, let's do it. But with all the other things I'm trying to do at the moment, it's really just trying to find the time is a nightmare. And I go for the occasional cover collaboration if I can, because obviously there's no like songwriting involved in that. It's just capturing a performance, and I'm doing my covers anyway, so it's not a huge chunk of time out to do that sort of thing. But yeah, it's just the time commitment for original stuff, and I wish I could do it. Maybe I will be able to in the future, but I don't know. So I can't guarantee any time for sure. Alexander asks, have I thought about why there are so many fans from the CIS? I don't know, but it's something that it's really awesome to have such a passionate and dedicated group of fans from that region. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that there are definitely some individuals in that camp that are super passionate about promoting my stuff, and all the covers that I used to do that were on YouTube that I originally had up but have been re-uploaded with thousands of views now by other folks. And I think it's maybe the level of activity from some of those folks in really sharing that stuff around that could be a contributor to it. But apart from that, I don't know. I'm just thankful that it exists, and thank you so much for your support from the CIS and from wherever you are. So that's all the questions I have. Okay, well, as it turns out, that's not quite the end of the video, because I was looking at Twitter's search results wrong. So here's some more questions, starting with Jacqueline asking, do you watch any TV series sometimes or movies? I'm the kind of person that tends to discover or catch up with like a TV series long after it's stopped airing and people have kind of, the talks kind of died down a bit. So stuff like Breaking Bad or House of Cards, I kind of come to it a few months later. But yeah, I'm not a big like TV person, movie person, but I catch the odd thing when I can. And she also asks, does Phantom's release date, June 10th, fall on the Ghost City release date by chance or because of connection with the Ghost City? Well, not that there's no connection with the Ghost City in terms of, the album connecting to that older album, but as far as the release date goes, it was actually just completely a coincidence. Wasn't even in my mind that was the Ghost City's release date, so accidental, but yeah, quite a coincidence. Victoria asks a few questions. Have I ever worked in Pro Tools or Cubase? I've done a little bit in Pro Tools, but not like a hugely significant amount. Cubase I've never actually touched. Since I started, I've pretty much been completely based in Logic. Do I plan to release more singles till the 10th of June? I do. I'm hoping to have like quite a structured pre-release plan for the album, so there'll be more singles and various kinds of videos and stuff like that leading up to it as well. Any plans for a new album's CD or fan pack or something special? Yes, basically. I had done a lot of thinking over Christmas about the kind of physical package I might want to put together for the album. And initially I was thinking, a CD version and then maybe like a limited edition CD plus some other like merch items. At the moment it looks like the minimum will be just a physical copy of the album. In terms of anything else, just need to see closer to the time. Maybe I can do some extras on the side, but sort of loosely connected with the album as well. But we'll just need to see about that. Thanks for sending them in. I have no idea how long this has been going on, but I'll probably edit it down. If you've got any more questions, I'll put out a call again, in the near future. If there's anything else you want to know about the production stuff that I do, or asking about covers or whatever, just send me a question and see if I can do another one of these. Thank you very much for your support. New album is coming in June, so I'd better get back to working on that and everything else that I'm trying to do. But yes, thank you again, and I'll talk to you again soon.